God accepts me no matter what.
As she was sitting there reading her Bible,
I was crying in the Bible.
it was a horrible, depressing thing.
I was very depressed.
This is a very different episode of Two Old Farts because we're going to delve into some of the problems that we've seen, both in the past and in the present. And I want to tell you just a little bit of history about how all of this started and why we were so alarmed as time went on. The first little snippet here is a little interview I did with Trish about how all of this began. It's kind of hard for me to watch, but this is what happened.
I first knew that something was wrong when I couldn't hang on to what they were trying to teach me in a new job that I was having. I couldn't remember everything that I needed to do for the job. There were several, it was in the operating room, and I'd worked in the OR for years and years, and then I left and did other jobs and came back. And it wasn't as easy as I thought it would be. I was having a hard time remembering all the different things. The surgeon's going to come in the room, you're going to move this over here, and then you've got to do this, and connect this up, and then you also have to be charting on the computer while you're doing this. And so I had a hard time of that.
There was a moment when it sort of came home to roost for me when I went over to, I think it was over there on Central Pike, that hospital over on Central Pike over there.
When I was working on the floor.
Yeah, I came to lunch to eat with you one day, and you cried.
I was crying before you got there. I didn't know if it was prolonging more sadness and gloom, and so I just went in there and told the head nurse, I just don't think I can do all this. They were a very busy floor, med-surg, and so there was a lot of things. There were a lot of diabetics, a lot of people in pain, a lot of people out of it, and so it just scared me. I just didn't think I could take all that.
What was the hardest for you?
The doomsday moment, and we were going to do something in the lung area, and I suddenly got into like a panic mode, and I thought, I can't remember all this right now, and it hurt me that I couldn't, and I thought I need to stop and get away. So I eventually just told the head nurse with tears, many tears, I just couldn't do it, and I was ashamed. I was really ashamed to go back in the locker room and get in my locker and get my purse and go home, because everyone would be wondering, what's wrong with you? Well, I used to be big time over there teaching people, and suddenly I didn't have, multitasking was not something I could do anymore.
I remember you being depressed over this.
Well, I was very depressed. I was very depressed because I had people under me that I probably taught, at one time or the other. And so it just hurt. It was depressing.
There was a moment that I remember after all of these problems at work and her losing job after job. She tried and tried. People kept hiring her because her resume was so excellent. But then she would falter, and within a few weeks, she would quit. And at one point, I went down the staircase, and I looked around down at where she was sitting, and I could see, as she was sitting there reading her Bible, that there were teardrops. I could see them falling on the pages. And for me, that was it.
I was crying in the Bible. I know that it was a good place for me to be reading, and it was my last refuge. Place of refuge is God accepts me no matter what. But people don't accept you very easily when they're in this mode of trying to train you and hurry me up. And so much had changed that I wasn't able to do it. Just knew I couldn't do it anymore.
What were you thinking in that moment when you were?
Well, how sad it is. And if I could have made it with someone different, or I just don't know. I didn't know what to think. I was sad for myself and sad for us.
I think you were afraid of letting me down.
Well, yeah, that's part of it too, because I could have made a lot of money with all my years' experience.
Every morning, when you get up, you ask me, where am I going and what am I going to be doing? Right?
Right.
Do you remember that?
Yes, I forget very quickly. I forget.
Like I say, well, today I'm going to be in Brentwood at noon. And like today, that's what today. Did you remember that?
No. I have to write it down because I don't remember things you just say to me, but I can remember times when I either get hurt or I'm embarrassed. Those I remember.
Are you scared that your family will find out that
Yes.
you have memory issues?
Yes.
Why are you scared?
Well, I just have had so many problems in my life, and I don't want to add another problem to them until it becomes necessary. I don't think that they have any idea that I'm losing my recent memory. When I'm most depressed is when I think about what I'm forgetting, and I remember why I'm forgetting, and that's kind of sad. See, I just can't keep up with some things. If I put something in the wash, did I dry it? And I worry about time, so it's hard for me to get it all together. I'll think, no, I got to do such and such first, and then something else happens. The phone rings, or I know I need to go to the grocery. So I just can't tolerate a lot of different things at the same time.
And I think every now and then you lose track of what you wanted to do.
Yeah, I do. Well, I think I'm guilty. I can't do that now. I need to be doing productive things for the house. I need to be going to the store or going to Walmart, getting stuff so that I'll have supper ready and available. Of course, we have Home Chef, which is of great help. That's great. I have to follow directions, which is good. I have to read, make my brain do, my hands do what I need to do.
So as time went by, we noticed more and more of these moments where Trish was no longer herself, where instead of this fast, efficient nurse, she was losing it. And I think for her in those early days, it was a horrible, depressing thing. What affects your mood the most? We talk about weather. What affects your mood the most?
If someone gets angry with me because I feel inadequate, and I know I'm inadequate already. So it's a double whammy because, I'm not remembering everything I'm supposed to do.
You're talking about me getting mad at you, aren't you?
Yeah. Or maybe my parents, maybe they expected me to come that day or whatever, but they're never angry about it.
Are there times when I don't think I'm being angry at you, but you think I'm angry at you?
Yeah. Yes, because I get my feelings hurt.
Because I'll come home angry at a situation and you think I'm angry at you.
Yeah, that's probably likely. Yeah.
Because I'll come home ranting and angry and you think I'm mad at you.
Well, I'm thinking I need to cheer you up. That's my job.
Yeah, and sometimes I just need to be able to unload.
Yeah, everybody does. But I should be able to tolerate it. But because of my situation, sometimes I just can't.
Now, we also have to watch out when we're in a group of people because for all intents and purposes, Trish has always been very quiet anyway. So people, especially my family, my crazy bunch of people, they're all over the place. But there are times when it's bad to point out that she's faltering, and in particular playing charades and games like that she loses it, she can't keep up with the game, and the rest of us kind of look at her like, come on, Trish. So in my family, we love playing games, so that's been very hard for her.
I can't follow the rules or the dynamics of a game. And so people don't need to be asking me, well, why are you not playing? And it's because I'm afraid I'll completely expose myself to who I really am, which is
You used to love to play charades, for example. You can't play that set anymore.
not too well. No, I feel like everybody's looking at me and that I'm going to be stupid or.
That's what I was thinking. I think there are times in my family in particular, because they're game players, where you feel left completely out. Tell me about how that feels. Like the last time we got together, I think we played some kind of game and you stayed out of it. Do you remember anything specifically?
Well, anything that draws attention to the fact that I may forget easily or I don't know something that I should know from all these years of high school, college, and everything else, but they don't realize it's an illness. And if I have to tell them, then that's a big, horrible situation for me because if I get involved in something, I can play pool, but I just can't I don't do long oral conversations. Can't do that unless it's someone I really like. That I can do because they understand me. Yeah. I see the looks like, every now and then, and that hurts, but I'm just soft-spoken anyway. I came from a quiet household, so that seems fairly natural to me. And it's not a joke at all. And so, I forget stuff all the time. I hear people say, "Oh, you're not that bad," but I am. And so, discounting someone like me is hurtful. It's sad to me that I'm having to replay bad things, like in my mind of not surviving a job and getting lost and all, but at least I know that Rod's gonna pick me up when I fall, which is a wonderful thing, and we all need that. That means a lot to someone like me, is that I'm not gonna be taken out to the pasture and let go. And some people may live in a situation where they think if I don't straighten up and fly right, I'm going to be kicked out and out in a cow pasture somewhere.
Well, would it surprise you to know that you pick me up just as much as I pick you up?
Yeah. No, it's not a surprise. We need each other. We all need each other. And the thing about a stigma of mental decline is that it's like a degrading feeling because I feel like I'm less than I used to be, which I am, but at least I'm the same friendly person for most of my friends, and they know me, and I've not really told anybody.
So as we continue to go on, we're going to keep on showing you the fun things that we're doing, but every now and then we're going to stop and take stock, look at where we are, and that's what these are all about, these little snippets. I'm trying to show you a slice of Trish's life and my life as this progresses. We're hoping it's not Alzheimer's, but we're treating it as if it is, because it may be. So we're doing everything we can to stop the erosion of her mind.